So as I got the news this week that I was going to have a follow-up surgery that I'm choosing to happen, the idea came, so what do I need to do prior to that? And I realized, number one, I have to keep it simple. I can't get complex on it. And I realized then, wait a second, that's not just this week or next week. Isn't that about all of life? And so then I decided that I'm going to talk to you about the power of simplicity. Because I believe the power of simplicity is key to having a life that is magnificent, a life that is time sensitive, a life that is just fulfilled. And so let me describe what simplicity is. It is the ability to clear our life of unnecessary thoughts, words, actions, habits, feelings, and things in order to focus on what is truly important to us. In other words, do you see that? When you listen to that statement, first off, you have to discern for yourself what's important. Once you've made that discernment, once you've made that decision, this is what's important to me, then your job is to get rid of everything. Thoughts, words, actions, feelings, habits, things, people. People, that's right, people that don't support that take your focus away from what is meaningful to you. And when you do that, you realize you've eliminated all of those things that are nothing but a distraction. See, and I asked the question, so why would anyone want to simplify your life? So why? Why live a simplified life? What's in it for me? Well, here's what I came up with. First thing is peace of mind. Because when you simplify your mind, it clears your mind and stops us from being bombarded by an endless stream of needless thoughts. If you're focusing on health, it means you no longer focus on disease. If you're focusing on wealth, it means you no longer focus on lack. If you're focusing on love, it means you no longer focus on hate and judgment. You see, you're not thinking those things that are opposite of what you're trying to do. So you're letting your mind stop all this analytics that go on and being bombarded with all the craziness that's around us because we put our focus on what's important to us. Also, when we simplify our life, we're able to live in the now. And when we live in the now, we stop worrying about the past and fearing the future. Because in the now, the past doesn't exist. Neither does the future. But all of us, it seems, all of us at times, some more than ever, are living in the past and are dragging forward all that baggage that's not serving. And then we build up all this skepticism of the future. All these things about the future, and we worry about it. We say, oh my God, what if I get this? What happens? You don't have it. Live now. Another benefit stops unnecessary thinking. When we think less, we plan less, we stop bringing tomorrow's problems into today. We stop bringing the past into today. So there's so much unnecessary thinking. Our minds never, ever, ever stop. The simple person is present, is in the now. It's so beautiful. You know, when you're thinking simplistically, what are you doing? You're avoiding judgment. We free our mind to focus on what is truly important, not to judge others, not to judge ourselves, but to put our focus on creativity, on creating that which juices us and which also serves others. And when we simplify our life because of that, we see the beauty in life. When our minds and our lives are uncluttered with thoughts and things, we are better able to be in the moment and see the beauty that life is. To see those ducks swimming so calmly on the pond. To notice the geese that are flying over and how the lead goose takes the lead and then all of a sudden moves to the back and another goose takes it. And see how nature is working so perfectly. But most importantly, by living a simple life, it gives us the time to focus on what is truly valuable to us. And what is our most valuable asset? Our time. But if we've got our mind and our bodies and our lives cluttered with thoughts and things and people and stuff that are not of value, we don't have the time. So if you're sitting there saying, I don't have time, Lee, I'm going from night to day, the question I would ask you is it important? Does it serve your highest values? So I'm going to give you some steps that I believe that you can start to take today to live a simpler life. The first step is to simply be still. Take time every day to be still. The best way I know to be still is to take time every day to meditate, to quiet the mind, to still the body, to be in the moment. For me, that's the most important thing. And in fact, that's the first thing I do every morning. I do it with Jean. We do it together. The second thing is to breathe. Most of us have developed habits of breathing that are very shallow. And since I've discovered deep breathing through the teacher Wim Hof, I've incorporated that into my life. So Jean and I have been doing Wim Hof breathing every morning for over 9 months. And I can't tell you how wonderful it is and how much more energized and healthy I am because I'm breathing deeper, and how much clearer I am, and how much more peaceful I am, and how my body's in a homeostasis because I'm bringing all this alkaline energy to an acidic body, which brings it back into pH balance. Breathing also calms you so that you release the stress, as does being still. The next thing that would simplify your life is drink water. Water, again, nourishes and purifies the body. What is the body? It's about 70% water. So when you're adding water to it, you're actually giving the body the tool it needs to purify itself. Other thing to simplify life, eat simple, healthy foods. Foods that nourish the body. And you know when you're eating them. I know that when I pull out an avocado that's raw and cut it up and put it on some toast and I'm eating it, I know it's nourishing my body. I can feel it. The same thing when I'm biting into a juicy apple and all that fresh nutrients are going in my body. I can feel that. So eating healthy, just simple eating, will make your life easier. Next, you've got to move. Our bodies were not meant to sit still. Our bodies were meant to move. I might have said exercise here, but exercise is not what I'm talking about. Simplicity is about moving, walking. It's about going up and down stairs. It's about lifting things that we need in our lives. If we simply embrace a life where we move, we will all be healthier. And when we're healthier, we won't have the complexity of dealing with illness. The next thing I would suggest is, and this is really important, is to know who you are. To discover the truth about you that makes you unique. What is it that you truly value? What truly do you love to give joy? That's where I get into the work of Dr. John Demartini and look at what is the hierarchy of your personal values, which are most unique to you. They're different than anyone else's. Once you know them and you live them and you know who you are, life becomes simple because you're not going off. You're not on tangents. You're staying focused on what's important and relevant to you. See, once you know who you are, then what? You live authentically. You live your values. You never sacrifice who you are for anyone, for any situation, for anything, for any reason whatsoever. Because it's so much easier, simpler to live being authentic as opposed to living from a state of lies. Because when you live from a state of lies, you'll never experience love because you never have proposed, you never put out to anyone else what you are so that they can love you as you are. This is one of the things I understand about authenticity. When we're authentic, we're saying to the world, here I am. Now you can love me, which means accept me as I am. Because, most importantly, I've accepted myself. The final step I'll talk about today about living a simpler life is to always be grateful. Be grateful for being still. Be grateful for your breath. Be Be grateful for the water you're drinking, for the food you're eating. Be grateful that you can move, knowing who you are. Be grateful that you're living authentically. I'm grateful that I'm able to have this surgery coming up this week to correct the imbalance in my leg. I'm not in fear of that. I'm grateful because I'm going to be able to move smoothly, easily, effortlessly, and it'll allow me to live my life more fully. So when I look at everything, I look at how can I see my values? How can I live? And I simplify to that. Here's the last thing I want to talk to you about today. It's the final step in everything. Once you've done those other things, it's your job now to ask this. Does this person, does this thought, does this event, does this task serve my highest values, or is it a distraction? This is the work. And this is what I teach when I do my values workshop with people. I ask them this question. You now know your hierarchy of values. Before you do anything, you ask, is it serving that? If it's not serving that, then find a way to delegate it, or maybe not do it, or maybe link it to those values. But it's always about asking that question. If I'm doing this, how's that serving me, my highest values? It's not a hard process. It just takes focus. And isn't that what simplicity is? It's focusing on one thing at a time, not trying to multitask, not trying to have too many balls up in the air at the same time, but rather choosing the ball, focusing on it, bringing it to fruition, and then get another ball. When you simplify your life, you've claimed back your power, you've claimed back your time, you've claimed back your love, you've claimed back your peace, and now you're someone that's proud to be in the world, and everyone in the world will want to be with you because you are the light, and you are unique, and people love uniqueness. As you go forth this week, be that man, be that woman, because it's all you can be.
I want to thank you for joining us today. I'm so grateful that you took your time to watch or listen to this message. If you found this message beneficial, I would ask that you go to our website, agapecsl.com. Once there, click on the donate button and experience the joy of conscious and purposeful giving. Or if you would like, text your gift by simply dialing 972-532-6976. It is through your gifts that we are able to bring this message to you in the world. I would ask that if you like this message, to please subscribe to my YouTube channel under my name, Lee Wolak. Again, I want to thank you for joining me in the Agape community as we learn how to better self-love through conscious living.